Hello and welcome to episode 2 of this Director of Football Challenge with Sheffield Wednesday. Today we're going to go over a few things that have happened since the last episode. First and most importantly, we now have a Director of Football. So the chairman has decided to hire a Director of Football and they have hired Glenn Hoddle. So I think I'm pretty happy with this decision, to be fair. Big name in football. Hopefully he'll be able to get us a few players and do a good job for us. So we'll have a quick look at the staff screen. Yeah, so I've noticed that the Director of Football love hiring new staff, so they have improved our coaching team quite a bit actually, and our physio team. So yeah, spent a bit of money on some coaches. We are actually the best in the league at a lot of these now, so really good to see. Next thing we're going to have a quick look at is the staff responsibility screen. So you can see that now I've changed all the responsibilities from the chairman, other than hiring and firing the Director of Football, to Glenn Hoddle. So he's now in charge of all recruitment, transfers, contract renewals, staff, all that kind of stuff. He's in charge of. So yeah, I'm just in charge of the first team basically. Let's have a quick look at the training. I did say I was going to have a go at this in the last episode. So I've had a quick look at the training. Basically, what I like to do, pre-season obviously started on fitness. I've set it very high for the time being, but I've put a big focus on more match training so they can focus on the tactics for most of the week, so they're not actually doing much of the general training. It's more match tactics, getting ready for the new season. Once we're a little bit further in the season and the team get used to the tactics we're using, we'll probably drop that back down to normal. Another quick tip that I like to do actually, that I picked up from another YouTube video a few weeks ago, was if you go onto Notebook, I'd never seen anyone really use the notes section, but I like to set a note now for team training. So I usually change it sort of every 3 months, the general training. So this time I've started with fitness, so I like to put on the note the date that I've started it and what category I'm training, so fitness. And then I've set a reminder for 3 months' time, and then it's an automatic reminder every 3 months. I also like to do one for individual training, so that occurs every 6 months. So after 6 months, I'll go back onto the player, see how they're developing with their focus. If they're doing okay and I want to change them to something else, I'll change them. If not, I might leave them on there for another 6 months just to see how they get on. So, just quick back onto training. So yeah, that's the team training. Individual, what I've done is, because we're going to be using the same tactic most of the time, I've decided to set all the players' position and role to the specific roles for that tactic. So for example, in our formation we use inverted wing backs, so all the full backs and wing backs at the club are all training in the position of inverted wing back. Same with the central defenders, we use ball playing defenders, so they're all training to be ball playing defenders, etc. So go through the team. In midfield we usually have a deep line playmaker at the side of a box to box midfielder. We have inside forwards instead of wingers, attacking midfielder just behind the striker, who is a complete forward. So luckily most of our strikers are actually quite good at playing as a complete forward. I think it's just Sam Winnell who's not the best at that, but he's probably our 4th best striker anyway, so he's probably not going to get that much game time, so that's not really a big deal at the minute. So the next thing is the additional focus. So what I actually like to do, I've added the age column in here, so I like to sort them by age with the youngest at the top. And then I will click on the player, and at the side it'll come up with a recommendation from the assistant. So they're recommending that he must improve his jumping. I've personally set him to off the ball, so sometimes I'll agree with that. See if there's any on there. No. So sometimes I'll agree with that, other times I'll just choose my own. So if not, I'll either set it as strength, or if not, I will just quickly look at player stats. I can click on the actual player, go onto his development, and then choose a position for him. So yeah, he's going to be a ball playing defender, and then here we can see the main stats that he needs. So off the ball at 7, that's why I've gone for off the ball with this particular player. I'll just choose something on there. There probably is something that is more useful for him to learn, but that's what I've set it up for the time being. So like I say, I'll leave those on usually for about 6 months, come back and see how he's getting on, and then I might just change the focus, or maybe leave him on there for a little bit longer. So I like to start with the younger players because they've got much more scope for improvement, especially the ones with a bit of potential. So I'll always make sure they've got an additional focus, something to be working on. So I've gone through most of the team, as you can see, added an additional focus. The thing I don't really do is the older players who are sort of 30 plus, I don't tend to give them an additional focus really, just because they're less likely to really improve on what their current ability is, and also they tend to moan if you give them a lot of extra training. They're not really happy with their workload, that kind of thing, whereas the younger players aren't as fussed about doing that. They'll just do pretty much whatever you give them, to be honest. So next thing we're going to have a quick look at is transfers. Don't get too excited just yet, because we haven't actually made a signing yet. So we've loaned out a few youth players. None of them are really going to be in the first team this year anyway, just a few youth players, so they've just gone out on loan to get a bit of match experience. The only permanent transfer we've made out of the club is Atday Nuhiu, so which is probably a good thing because I've got absolutely no idea how to say his name, but he was just sat in the reserves, transfer listed when we got to the club. He was probably our 6th best striker. He was never going to get a chance in the first team, and so selling him on to Wigan for 1.1 million is probably a decent bit of business, to be honest. Brings a bit more money in for the director of football to spend, hopefully sometime soon. We did have a couple of offers for players, so he's currently made an offer for Jeff Rennie Adelaide from Arsenal, who, if we have a quick look at his profile, is actually a pretty decent young player. I like the fact that he can play on both wings, and he's a natural as an inside forward on the left, which we do play with inside forward, so that would actually be a perfect move for us. Bit of cover over there. He looks a pretty decent player, to be honest. The first player we made an offer for was actually Axel Tuanzebe from Man United. So he did that the first day he got to the club. That was the first player he made an offer for. He made a loan offer for him, but there was about 8 other clubs interested in him. Dragged on for a while, and then he eventually decided to go to Reading, so we missed out on that one. Would have been actually a decent bit of cover for us because we are kind of struggling for defenders at the minute. Hopefully he'll be able to find somebody else for us in the near future. But yeah, other than that, not much going on at the minute, just another loan going out of the club. So next, let's have a quick look at the schedule of the pre-season. So as you can see, we've actually had a really good pre-season. We've won every single game, and we've not actually conceded a goal yet. But saying all that, we were playing some fairly weak teams. We didn't exactly play any of the big boys. But hopefully that's a good thing. Hopefully all these wins, lots of goals, will give the players a lot of confidence going into this first game of the season. So hopefully they'll be right up for the start of the season and get off to a good start. We've actually got a pretty tricky start to the season. We're up against Aston Villa, who've got to be one of the favourites to go back up after they were relegated from the Premier League last season for the first time. We are at home, so hopefully we'll manage to get a decent result against Aston Villa, start the season off well. Let's have a quick look at the team selection for today's game. We have actually got quite a few injuries. Fernando Forestieri, who we were saying in the last episode was probably going to be one of our key men this season, he got injured about 2 days before the first game. He's only out for 8 to 10 days, so not too bad, but yeah, he's probably going to miss the first game, maybe 2, so not ideal. And then we've also got Marco Matthias, who is out for 8 to 9 months with a hip injury. But we had a quick look at him last time, and he is probably one of our other better players, so we could have really done with him on those wings. We're probably going to miss him for the most of the season. Okay, so we'll have a quick look through the team. This is our starting lineup for today. So we've got Kieran Westwood in goal, Jack Hunt at right back, Tom Lees and Sasso in central defence, Daniel Pudil as left back. We've got Kieran Lee as the deep line playmaker, Barry Bannon box-to-box midfielder. We've got Ross Wallace out wide on the right, Will Buckley behind the striker and Adam Reach on the left, and then we've got Jordan Rhodes up front. So, let's get into the game. Okay, so we'll get the assistant to do the team talk. We'll go for passionate, I have faith in you. A few of them look happy with that. So, okay, let's go. Right start from Villa, but yeah, we have started to get a couple of shots, quite a lot of possession now as well, so we are kind of getting a foothold in the game. Only 1 shot on target though so far after 20 minutes, maybe give the team a bit of encouragement. There we go. So to be fair, we are playing really well. Villa have had 1 shot, 38% possession, but we've not really had a highlight, so clearly not created anything that great just yet. So there we go. Looks like it's going to be a half without any highlights, really. There we go. So, pleased with how things are going. Keep it up. Okay, we're not going to make any changes just yet. See what we can do in the second half. So realistically, Villa are probably a better team than us. So we've not managed to score past them yet, but if you actually look at the stats, we are playing much better football. We've had a lot more shots, a lot more possession. Ooh, I just thought I was going to say that and they were going to score then. So we might have a quick look at just making a change. Yeah, maybe Jordan Rhodes up front is not having the best game ever. Bring on Stephen Fletcher for him. And that'll do for now. So just wait for him to take this corner. There we go, Westwood gathers the ball. No problems. Let's give him a bit more encouragement. See, we just haven't really created anything amazing yet. Oh, free kick for Villa. Come on, oh yes, he's nicked the ball, come on. Here we go. Oh. It's been a bit oh wow, typical. So, we've absolutely dominated possession, had so many more chances, but they've managed to score the first goal. So Sasso's looking a bit tired, might bring him off. And then maybe bring on David Jones for Barry Bannon. Some fresh legs in the midfield. So I think there's a lot more to come from you, blah blah blah. Okay. So yeah, once they're in behind the defenders, we've not got much of a chance here, and it's probably quite a decent finish. So yeah, 20 minutes to go. We need to create a decent chance, to be honest. We've not really had a decent highlight the whole game. Oh, here we go. There's him behind, and oh, come on! Oh, Buckley, so close. Hits the woodwork. Ball comes back down. Can't finish the rebound. So last sort of 5 minutes, we'll just go push forward, and we'll chuck it on attacking for the last couple of minutes just to see if we can create one last chance. Interesting. So yeah, not a great start by the looks of it. No, there we go, full time. So we lose 1-0. That was unlucky there, I think. They had 18 shots, 10 more shots than Villa. 10 shots on target, but couldn't finish. See, maybe Mr. Glenn Hoddle needs to go out and buy us a decent striker, and we'll probably be okay. But, you know, positive signs there. I think the tactics going to work okay for us. Villa are probably just a better team, really. Just came down from the Premier League. They're probably one of the favourites to go up. So yeah, there we go. So let's just have a quick look at the table, as we've probably just seen it in there. So yeah, not the best start. We will go away. We'll play a few games off camera, maybe come back for the Leeds game. That'll probably be quite a big game for us against Leeds towards the end of the transfer window, so hopefully we'll have a bit of a transfer update for you, and yeah, we can see how we got on in the last few games. So thanks for watching, guys. If you've enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button, and if you'd like to keep up to date with this challenge, please subscribe to the channel. It'd be very much appreciated. Hope to see you again soon. Thanks, guys.